Alright, welcome back. I was just talking for a couple minutes and nobody heard me. So, do this problem on your own. Remember our cubes method. So, circle the numbers, underline the question, box those important words, write your equation, and then solve. Alright, so hopefully you got that they work 11 hours. So I said H was my hours, and then I set up my equation. It starts off at 35, and they charge $80 per hour. And the total was this much. So we were looking for the amount of hours, right? So after I solved for H, I got 11, and I just wrote that sentence. So now we're going to practice writing inequalities. So Miss Kennel is sewing potholders for Christmas. She has 2 yards of fabric. She is able to make 10 potholders from this much fabric. However, she loses 1 inch of fabric with each cut. How big will each potholder be once it's cut out? Find the solution using a model. So let's start. I started circling as I was going. You can do that if you want to, but I kind of like to. So she has 2 yards of fabric. So this is what she's starting with. She's able to make 10 potholders from this much fabric. So she makes 10 potholders, but she loses 1 inch of fabric with each cut. So this is, even though we talked about starting the 2 yards of fabric, this is her total. Just like if somebody has a certain amount of money, or like a total amount of money in their bank account, right? So first, let's define the variables. So we're going to say let P, oops, I forgot to underline my question. How big will each potholder be once it is cut out? So now let's find our solution. So let P be, P is going to be size of potholder Alright, so now I'm going to draw the model. I'm going to draw my yards of fabric, and she can make 10 potholders. So I'm just going to estimate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can draw this model however you want to. So the total is 2 yards, and then the purple circles are the 10 potholders. So then the area, or like the space in between, this is where she's going to be losing that fabric. So it probably would have been easier if I did 2 rows of 5, but I'm here now. Okay, so the blue shows losing that 1 inch. So before we start, we have to convert the yards to inches. So first, think about how we can convert yards to inches, because we want to make sure our units are the same. So there are 36 inches per 1 yard. So 36 inches in 1 yard. And we know how to figure this out. So if we want to find 2 yards, 1 times 2, so 36 times 2 is 72 inches. Okay, so let's write out our equation. So we have 72, our total, is equal to, so we have 10 potholders, but we don't know the size. And every time we make a potholder, we lose that 1 inch. So our equation is 72 is equal to 10p minus 1. Now go ahead and solve that equation. Alright, so hopefully you found that each pot holder is 7.3 inches. So again, when we are subtracting something, we have to do the opposite, right? So we added to both sides. 10p divided by 10 to get those tens to cancel. Each pot holder is 73 inches.